Hey, good morning to everybody. Happy Tuesday. It's Cyril here. It's not so bright and freaking early anymore. It's 10 a.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. All right, I hadn't planned on doing this video, but I got this idea when I was out riding my bike. I don't know what I'm going to call this video. I came to some personal observations about Nick Fuentes. I don't know Nick Fuentes personally, but I had some epiphanies on his what I think are his character traits. And I'm assuming here I don't know him personally. I've never talked to him, but at 57 years old, I've become a pretty good after this many years on Earth. You become a fairly good judge of character and whatnot. And I got some ideas. It started this morning. I've told you guys, like this morning I did a live video. Then I did another video after that, and I hadn't planned on doing another one. I was looking for some stuff to talk about this morning, honestly, and I went to Right Wing Watch on Twitter, and I found a couple videos of Nick Fuentes with a mustache. And I really got to thinking about that. I'll use the picture on my thumbnail. I'm like, why on earth does this guy? Because it looks ridiculous. It just does. If you look at the picture of Nick Fuentes with this mustache, and tell me you think it looks good. If you're a guy, girl, doesn't matter, whatever. Tell me your opinion of what what is he thinking? And that's what got me going. I was trying to figure out why would he possibly do this. He looks to me like a kiddie version of Tom Selleck. It's not a compliment. Or one of the Village People, maybe, or I don't know, or I'm sure he's heard this before. One of the adult film star from the 70s. That's what he looks like, except with a baby face. Okay, now also this morning I was like I said, I was looking around for ideas for videos, and about a year ago, Ethan Ralph from Killstream. I don't really know this guy at all. I had never heard of him, but he called me. He and he texted me about at least 3 times. And he had a fairly big channel. So, that came back to that, and I told him I really wasn't interested. He's in his 20s. I've watched some of his videos, and it's like he's speaking another language. I don't know what he's talking about. It seems kind of juvenile, arguing, yelling, screaming. The biggest question to me was, will it benefit me being on his channel? That's really all I care about, to be quite honest with you. I really couldn't care what Ethan Ralph thinks. If I could get some of his viewers to watch my channel, that's the only thing I'm really interested in, is how it'll benefit me. And I don't think, I think the annoying factor would outweigh any benefit, a few viewers I might pick up, because obviously anybody that's watching Ethan Ralph probably, like I said, I watch his videos and it's like he's talking another language. He's a millennial or whatever, or Gen Xer, and seriously, I have no idea. It just seems like romper room in another language. All right, so I came across this other channel too, and I think these guys are all buddies. Destiny and Sneako and Nick Fuentes and Ethan Ralph. They look like this crew. And again, so this morning I look at Destiny, this channel. I don't even know which person in this group. It's a bunch of guys and video games and lots of talk about Red Pill, whatever that is. I think they're fans of Andrew Tate. And again, I started watching their videos this morning just to try to make sense of it. And it's like they're speaking another language. I really don't know what these guys are talking about. It's like the teacher from Snoopy, just wah 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 wah. I swear to God. Try watching. If you're my age, watch one of their videos. I don't know if it's the age difference or what, but it's just nonsense to me. This morning they were talking, I'll put a link to the video. They were talking about Twitter and $50 million, and this guy paid for this, and Bitcoin, and just stuff. I swear to God, I tried, but I couldn't watch more than 30 seconds of it. And these guys are getting 200,000 views per video. So obviously somebody's watching them, and they're not watching me. So, he's obviously the better man, I guess. Anyway, so Nick Fuentes is on this show too. So I started thinking about this mustache thing. All right. And I really, psychology. I'm not a psychologist or anything, but why would he? It's because it doesn't look good. It looks ridiculous. It really does. I don't know if he still has this. As of like December of 22, at the end of last year, beginning of this year, I think he still had it. I don't know if it doesn't look like he might still have it now. But why did he have it? Because it looks ridiculous. I figured out why. I did. I really figured, because I did the other video. I did a video about a couple weeks back. And, I had a clip from one of his shows, and he was talking about he's interested in young, submissive women. It's the whole, I'm a man and I'm going to rule I do manly things and I work, and my woman stays home barefoot and pregnant and cooks me dinner and keeps her mouth shut. That's what these guys are in their 20s. They're like a bunch of millennial Archie Bunkers. There you go. That's who these guys are. And then it occurred to me. I'm like, I know why Nick Fuentes has a mustache. He's going for the submissive young girls with daddy issues. That's what this is about. Because it obviously doesn't look good. But I think, because he's got one of those little baby faces. Like, he looks like he needs testosterone therapy or something with the way he talks and his hand gesture. He's just freaky, man. So that's what it is. I figured it out. He's trying to look. I think it's an authoritative thing because there's always going to be girls out there that are insecure, and guys. There's going to be plenty of people, period, out there that are insecure. And unfortunately, sometimes people like that are insecure or submissive will look for people to control them. They're used to that in their life, their family history and stuff. Unfortunately. And that's, I think, who Nick Fuentes is playing to submissive young girl. The daddy with the mustache. I know it sounds, but why else? Why else would he have this mustache? I used to have a mustache, but I had an excuse. It was the 80s. I'll use one of my pictures of me in the thumbnail. I think I had hair down to here and a mustache. Okay. Then I started thinking about this too. I was wondering if Nick, because I was thinking about the young, attracting the daddy issue girls. And I was like, does he have a girlfriend? And I don't know if he has a girlfriend. And it occurred to me, this is what I really want to talk about. I think he's one of those guys that just don't grow up. Some men never really grow up. I think when you reach a certain age in your 20s, you really stop being with your friends and your buddies and, guy time and bros. It really just doesn't appeal to a lot of guys. They grow up, they get more interested in their job, their career, their family, their kids. I don't have kids. I don't have a wife. For the last 17 years, I've been clean. I was in a relationship about half the time. The first 7 years, I was working on myself, getting clean. And then I was in 1.5 year long relationship. And I went immediately into another relationship with Audrey for 6 or 7 years. And I realized that me and Nick Fuentes are very different. Like I said, some guys just, I think even as they get into their 30s and 40s, they need to hang around with other guys, with their bros, bro time, going out to shoot pool and go to the bar and scam on women, I guess, and stuff like that. And, testosterone-filled pal, buddy time, going to ball games. And I realized that just never, the hierarchy, sigma, alpha, beta. I am without a doubt, I am a sigma, the lone wolf. I have no interest. I'm just comparing myself to how I think Nick Fuentes is. I think he's going to be one of those guys that is going to always just leave the little wifey at home if he ever does get a girlfriend. And, go out and pal around with the guys and make sure she's home being submissive and cooking and cleaning barefoot. If Nick Fuentes sees this video, I bet you he'll agree with me. I bet you he would. With me, ever since I got to my 20s, my 30s, my 40s, I enjoy the company of women. I do not enjoy the company of men anymore. I really don't. I have no interest in hanging out with other guys. What am I going to do? Am I going to go shoot pool? Why would I want to go shoot pool? Whenever I go out with anybody, whenever I go like camping or to the beach, I'll go by myself or I go with family. I'm tight with my family, my brother-in-law, my stepfather. Those guys, those family relations are important, the most important to me. But once I got clean and sober, some of my friends got back in touch with me, the guys I went to high school with, the guys I used to hang out with. And one by one, I really just pissed them off. The ones that were clean, because I told them right off the bat, I'm clean, I'm sober. And this one guy, Armin, he used to be a good friend of mine in high school. And he's like, well, that's okay. We'll go out, we won't drink, we'll go have a burger. Really? This was like when I was 40, 45 years old. Why would I possibly want to go have a burger with another dude? Why would I want to go to the beach with another dude or to the other guys? It bores me. It really does. I don't know if there's something wrong with me. I'd like to think that I've matured. Like I said, I prefer the company of women much more, even just as friends. There's been times in the last couple of years I'd go to the beach with girls I know from high school, from Facebook, just purely as friends. I remember being in a detox, and every detox I've told you guys I was in and out of there 13 times, and every time I went in, it was always a co-ed. There was male and female. And there was this one time I went, and this is probably one of the times I actually wrote myself off. I went out, I left without doctor's advice, against doctor's advice. I signed myself out because it was so freaking boring. It was all filled with guys. There was like 20, 30 other guys in there. And it just bored the bejesus out of me. I have no inclination. It's not like I hate other guys or anything. I just see no reason to hang out with them. But Nick Fuentes strikes me as that kind of guy that as he grows up, as he gets older, he's always going to be palling around and hanging out with. And if that's, I don't know, maybe I'm the one that screwed up and maybe he's normal. I don't know. I'm going to say something really risky here that's probably going to get me in a lot of trouble. I used to hang out with motorcycle clubs. I'm not going to say any names, but some of them gangs. They like to call themselves motorcycle clubs. So we'd go to the bar, and there was a lot of dealing and and stuff like that. And after the bar closed, there was the after hours, and that's where we'd go on Friday nights, biker clubs. And I always wondered, a lot of these guys were older, in their 30s, their 40s, their 50s, with beards, and they would, their club was their family. They would actually leave their family at home, and it just seemed like a boys' club, and I just never understood that. I'm going out on a limb here, but I always kind of looked at it as juvenile, like a little juvenile boys' club, these motorcycle gangs. I never told them that. But why would you want to hang around with a bunch of guys and with motorcycles, on your motors, talking about motorcycles or going to strip bars when you have a wife and a family and kids or anything really? I'd rather stay home and paint or read. I'd rather even stay home and read a book than hang out with other dudes like that. I don't get it. I think it's the whole Sigma thing. But anyway, that's the title of this video. The differences between me and Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes has a mustache and bros, and I don't. Let me know what you think. Have a good Tuesday.